Mr. Pradeep Kumar, let me come to you first. It's a 25 bips cut. CRR has been left unchanged. Your initial thoughts, Mr. Kumar?
This was what was expected.
Yes.
The repo rate cut by 25 basis point. I thought there was only an outside chance of a CRR cut. So it was as per expectations.
It's come as per expectations, and the markets are not taking it well. The Nifty is down about 1%. The Bank Nifty is cracked. I saw the currency react quite violently as well. It just inched up a little bit. So it was probably in the price, and which is why there's a bit of a sell-off that is happening in the markets right now. Not saying it will continue, but this is what has happened. Let me take it to all our experts now one by one. Jahangir, let me come to you for your initial thoughts. You were talking about there being an outside chance of the commentary not being as dovish as well. We don't have the commentary at hand, but a 25 bips cut and the CRR left unchanged. You think it's on expected lines?
Yeah, I mean, that's what one had expected. But, just by the growth numbers and the inflation numbers, they are pricing in the fact that, growth will be lower. I'm guessing that's what the commentary will suggest, and inflationary pressures will be higher. And as I said, RBI is now looking at a 4% inflation target, not a 6% inflation target anymore. I'm guessing that would also be in the commentary. But I would just say that, most likely we are in for a very long pause. Again, not knowing the commentary is difficult to say, but my sense would be that we are in for a very long pause now till the Fed rate hike cycle is over and all the disruptions and also the timing of the Fed, whatever associated with the Fed rate hike cycle, till that is over, I don't think we should expect a monetary policy action from the RBI.
Dr. Rangarajan, as a former governor of the Reserve Bank of India, how do you react to this news that the RBI has cut the repo rate 25 basis points? Is it about action per se, or is it about timing? And has the RBI really missed the bus? Is it behind the curve?
I think it's a measured response to the situation. Inflation is considerably down, and the recovery as far as the output is concerned is slow. Therefore, I think that it is not wrong to do what the Reserve Bank has done. I think there are other things which we need to look for in the future, like what happens to the monsoon, what the Fed will do, and so on. Basis points cut is appropriate.
Well, sir, the only problem with the repo rate cut is that in the Indian system, where banks lend essentially out of their deposits, and these are contracted on a fixed rate, the repo rate is largely irrelevant. So has the RBI faulted somewhere by not focusing on liquidity apart from the repo rate itself?
No, I think the repo rate cut is only an announcement of a policy. Actually, the Reserve Bank of India should take appropriate action. If certainly they want the rate of interest to come down, let us say by 25 basis points all along the line, then they must be in a position to improve the liquidity in the system. They cannot act like King Canute. I mean, you just cannot order these things. If the 25 basis cut is required, is considered to be desirable, then the appropriate action to improve liquidity also must be done. It need not necessarily be done through CRR. It can be done through other methods like open market operations or because of certain operations in the foreign exchange market. But the liquidity should be expanded so as to facilitate the banks to follow suit.
I'm sure, sir, the banks will be heartily cheering you on that because they complain of excessive tight liquidity with the Reserve Bank of India. But part of this issue really is because the Reserve Bank of India's forex operations and sterilizing the money supply. Now, is sterilization something that the RBI should desist from, not sterilize entirely if liquidity is tight?
Yes, I suppose, when they buy dollars from the market, obviously money supply increases. And to the extent to which they think that it is in excess, then they sterilize it. Therefore, the foreign exchange operations will also have the similar effect to open market operations. And that is what is the appropriate level is something that the Reserve Bank should take a decision. I think that is the way in which to operate in order to really marry two objectives. One is to do whatever they think is appropriate from the exchange rate point of view, and the other is to do what is appropriate from the liquidity point of view.
Punita, what is your reaction to the RBI's policy, the 25 basis points cut?
I think it's a non-event because I don't think it's going to do very much to corporate earnings. Clearly, the RBI seems to be more concerned still about inflation and not so much about growth. Rather, they're leaving the growth to the political system to handle. So the government seems to be in the position now where the RBI is saying, well, we are only going to focus on inflation. Growth is your area, your problem.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.